So you all know I have this saying, don't say in a paragraph what can be said in a sentence. Well, this isn't that time. Dr. Robbins, thank you for being my MC. I knew you would do a wonderful job, and thank you from my heart. Dr. Hupka, thank you for your leadership this past year. Your passion and drive for osteopathic excellence has been nothing short of inspirational. Your seemingly endless energy is one for the record books. To the Board of Trustees, thank you for the friendships that have been cultivated over these past 10 years. The AOA staff and Kathleen Creason, our CEO, thank you for making a hard job fun. The dedication you all have to this association, our mission, and vision are beyond comparison. To the Michigan Osteopathic Association, go green. Thank you for being my foundation. From my earliest days of involvement, the MOA has nurtured my growth, challenged me to lead, and encouraged me to serve. From my involvement in MOA events and committees to the countless opportunities to gain experience, collaborate, and serve, this association has always been a wellspring of inspiration and encouragement. One of the most meaningful parts of that journey was the mentorship I received from Drs. Angeluni, Wickless, Anderson, Oliveri, and Lanieski. Their guidance, quiet confidence, and steadfast commitment to our profession made an impression on me. Whether in conversation or by example, they taught me the value of leading with both strength and humility, lessons that continue to guide me to this day. You all played a part, but most importantly, Dr. Angeluni, who was an instrumental role in shaping not only the physician I am today, but also the leader that I've become. To the OG Macomb mobsters, Drs. Florino, Ogen, and Clinton, thank you for allowing me to be the constructive disruptor, challenging the status quo, a role that came naturally, but that you helped me polish. Chris Nikoloff, the new dad. With your leadership and guidance, you have helped lead the MOA to be the premier medical association in Michigan. Your tireless advocacy is one case example of what can be achieved by hard work, perseverance, and from an association facing headwinds. Drs. Wolf and Hurst, I could not think of two better people to be with on the Board of Trustees. Thank you for being my Michigan sounding board. Your wisdom and camaraderie have been gifts I will always carry with me. The American College of Osteopathic Neurologists and Psychiatrists, we finally made it. Your support has been equally vital. As specialists who navigate the complexities of the mind, I have found colleagues who not only challenge me, but also inspire me. We understand the power of healing, empathy, and perseverance. Collectively, all of you have had a profound impact on my life. But I would be remiss if not to mention Drs. Paulini and Peters, who adopted me as a younger brother, Dr. Emmer and Goodwill, who were there from day one of medical school, Dr. Scheinthal, who we shared many committees together in the early years, Dr. Bailey, who epitomizes everything that's good in osteopathic medicine, Dr. Horst, who recognized a need in the community and exploded it to a national level, and of course, Dr. Rentz and Ranieri, the modern-day fathers of osteopathic neurology and psychiatry. But before I go any further, I have to go off script and say one person here is probably hoping I do really well, Dr. Kowalski, Because if I don't do well, it'll be another 129 years before they let a psychiatrist at this wheel. A special thank you to Sue Westerling, our tireless executive director, whose strength, compassion, and behind-the-scenes leadership has been essential not just to the ACN, but to my journey. She took a chance on an arrogant young resident when, frankly, I would have tossed my butt out the door. I'll leave Sue to tell you that story at some later time. Equally appreciated is Christopher Westerling, who I know the ACN would not be able to exist without his technological aptitude and easygoing nature in the way he approaches all adversity. Drs. Gimple and LeBaire, you define what it means to be servant leaders. In the late 1990s, when I was voluntold by Dr. Paolini to become an item writer to my time on the board of directors of the NBOME, it has been the most intellectually stimulating part of my career. NBOME's mission to protect the public and always seek to improve the delivery of the most stressful parts of being an osteopathic medical student is praiseworthy. And now to my family, where it all begins and where it all returns. To my sister Patricia and my brother Ned, thank you for your love, your support, and your example. You have been with me through every chapter, celebrating victories, standing together during struggles, and reminding me of who I am and where I come from. Your encouragement and steadfast presence have meant more to me than words can say. Today, Mom and Dad are smiling not because of me, but because of us. My sister-in-law Sarah, my brother-in-law Chris, I'm far more grateful for you than you can ever realize. I grew up in this crazy Italian family, but you both chose to stay, and God bless. To my extended family, since my earliest days, you have been the foundation of my life. Through wide-eyed dreams of childhood, the sleepless nights of medical school, the relentless pace of residency, and the responsibilities of leadership, you have been my strength, my compass, and my constant. Growing up in a multi-generational home was truly a gift from God. You all believed in me before any title or any degree, and even when I was just trying to figure it out, your support and your faith made this possible. Additionally, my own experience in military school and high school in Canada taught me at a very young age to be self-reliant and resilient. I reflect on those early days, and I can honestly say that my determination is Piccinini, but my heart is Amici. Allora, Rosanna, Pietro, Camillo e Luciano. Oggi il mio cuore è pieno di gioia. Grazie per aver percorso così tanta strada. Oggi in cielo i nostri genitori e la nostra famiglia ci guardano e sono felici perché siamo insieme. Grazie mille, la famiglia è tutto. Kim, you are new to this show, but your support has been no less significant. You challenge me, but allow me to be who I am. I'm excited to see where our journey together goes and takes us. To the MOA, ACN, NBOME, and my family, thank you for shaping me and walking this road with me. I am profoundly honored to represent you, and I will carry your spirit and your trust into every step of this leadership journey. This presidency, this honor, is not mine alone. It belongs to each one of you. those who stood beside me and believed in me and lifted me up. Friends, mentors, colleagues, and members of the Osteopathic family, I stand before you today with profound gratitude and deep humility as the 129th President of the American Osteopathic Association and the first osteopathic psychiatrist to hold this position in our association's proud history. That distinction is not just personal, it's symbolic, because psychiatry has taught me something fundamental about leadership. To listen to what is said and to what is unsaid, to notice what others overlook, to find meaning in silence, to see not just the issues, but the story. And so I begin this journey not simply to lead, but to listen, to connect, and to pay attention to the obvious. Because all too often, the greatest risks facing any profession, any organization, or any person are not hidden. They are right in front of us. We just must open up our eyes. So I say to you, mind the gap. There was supposed to be something popping up on the screen. Oh well. In fact, the phrase mind the gap is not just a metaphor. Anyone who's ridden the London Underground has seen the symbol and heard the message reminding passengers to beware of the space between the train and the platform. That visual is more than just a safety net. That it has become a cultural symbol, a reminder to pay attention to what's right in front of us and to act with care and awareness. Let us mind the gap between what we say we value and what we prioritize, what we assume our members know and what we have communicated, what our students and residents experience and what we believe they experience, what we promise in support of well-being and what we deliver, what our profession offers and how clearly we demonstrate that value through membership. The challenge in medicine and in leadership is not always to discover something new. Sometimes it is to see what's already there. We have members telling us they feel disconnected. We have students reporting rising stress. We have early career physicians asking for guidance and support. We have seasoned DOs longing for more transparency and trust. We have a community that is deeply passionate about this profession. But they want to know is that their voices matter, that their investment in membership brings tangible, personal, and professional value. So we will re-examine how we show up for our members in our words, our programs, our advocacy, and our presence. Because sometimes it's not the complicated things that trip us up. So let us be the leaders who mind the gap. And let us be the generation that stops stepping over the obvious. Now let us talk about something fundamental that does not require new technology or more funding, but rather a renewed commitment. Improving how we communicate with our members. Because at the very heart of every strong association, it's not just a mission statement or a strategic plan. It is a connection, and connection begins with communication. The best communication begins not with a message, but with an ear. For too long, our communication has often been one way, occasional, and transactional. But our members, whether students, residents, or seasoned professionals, are looking for something more. They are looking for dialogue, for relevance, for trust. Our members deserve to know what is happening, what is being advocated for, what is changing in the profession, and what decisions are being made. When we do not communicate, uncertainty fills the void. The truth is, many of our members are busy, overwhelmed, and disconnected. They may not know the full scope of what's being done on their behalf. They may not feel like they are being heard, and they may not even be sure where they fit in. No single platform reaches everyone. We must meet our members where they are, whether that is in their inbox, on their phone, or during their commute, or at their local meeting. This means rethinking how we share information, tailoring content to the needs, and making sure our message is accessible and relevant at every stage of their careers, reaching out on what social platforms they utilize. Nationally and at the state and specialty level, we are doing a great deal of things for our members. But if we are not letting them know consistently and frequently what we are doing, they start to believe what they hear or what others are telling them, because those are the ones who are filling that void of communication. This is not about better newsletters or prettier graphics. It's about trust. It's about relevance. And it's about being respected. And when we communicate better, we do not build a stronger relationships. We build a stronger profession. As your president, I am committed to restoring clarity in our communications, to making sure our members do not just receive information, but feel connected, informed, and engaged in shaping this profession. During my year, every other month, starting in August, the AOA will host a mega Zoom town hall call with our students and residents and me. This will be an open forum where questions can be asked and answered, and the unique concerns of our students and residents can be heard. Physicians in the early, mid, and late careers also have questions and concerns, but they're distinctly different from what students and residents have. When a physician calls the AOA with concerns, they need answers and solutions, but sometimes our dedicated staff can't provide those. For them, I have a separate way to fill the gap. In those cases, I'm asking our Board of Trustees to call the members back, clarify the concern, and ensure follow-up to our best of our abilities. The holy grail of my year is to provide and improve the communications and experience of certifying board services. I am the first president to be going through the OCC process. Your pain is my pain. I have spent much of my career in the certifying space. I am here to promise you CBS can and will do better. We finally have a vision-focused team who are willing to think outside the box, but I need your help. I challenge all specialty boards to increase their comfort with change, because as scary as change, oh, there's the sign. Well, don't pop it up. I see it. There we go. Communication. We're going to work on that. But as scary as change can be, staying exactly the same just doesn't work. So here's my promise. We will communicate with all candidates and diplomates more clearly, more frequently, and more relatably. We will beta test the messages that concern physicians before they go out, and challenge every board to develop a plan for early entry certification, as the difference this would bring to our residents could be significant. The benefit of being potentially board certified rather than board eligible, when what that could mean to their salaries as they complete training and enter their careers, is very tangible. But I also understand nothing in medicine stays the same. OCC is ever evolving. And when changes to the OCC process are proposed, they need to be done clearly, stated and communicated well in advance of the changes. No one should have to experience or tolerate surprise changes in something that is so crucial to their careers. Also, let me be clear to anyone who may believe or ponder about the fact that osteopathic boards not existing somewhere in the future. When pigs fly. I personally wanted to be a little bit more salty, but the censors cleared me up. Have we made mistakes? Yes. Do we have work to do? Most definitely. But realizing our mistakes, being thoughtful with ourselves, and approaching our boards with humility and honesty, we will improve the offerings and redefine where our resources must be placed. I know you've heard this before, so I'm not asking you to trust me. But I am asking you to give our newly energized certifying board services a chance to win you over. And I'm asking you to give me a chance. So let us commit together to rebuilding the bridge between this association and those we serve. Not with grand gestures, but with consistent, clear, and compassionate communication. Now, every organization, no matter how noble its mission or dedicated its people, face disruptions. We are here because we believe in something greater than ourselves, a profession rooted in compassion, connection, and a commitment to serve. Yes, we have faced many disruptions. Those that sneak in through the cracks we don't see, and those that knock loudly looking to divide. Recognizing them allows us to correct course, clarify roles, improve processes, and most importantly, reinforce the culture of trust and unity that must define this association. Here's what I know and believe with all my heart. We are bigger than any disruption. We are not held together by convenience. We are held together by conviction. We are not united by comfort. We are united by a calling. And we do not retreat when challenged. We rise. We are here because our patients need our care, because learners need our mentorship, and because our future depends on what we do right now together. Together we are unstoppable, and all disruptions offers us something, a mirror. Unintentional disruptions may come from growth outpacing structure, from silos and legacy systems that no longer serve. These require humility to recognize and discipline to resolve. Intentional disruptions are harder. They come when division is sown, when transparency is questioned, and when individuals put personal ambition above collective progress. We will face both kinds. What matters is how we respond. And we will respond to disruptions honestly, with steadiness, with clarity. We will not overreact to the noise or ignore meaningful critique. We will do the harder thing, choose introspection over poorly timed reactivity. As we are currently engaged in developing a new strategic plan, which is a signpost in time, it is the 60,000-foot aspirational goal of what we hope for the association. In the past, we have always held to our strategic plans like unquestionable dogma. But in these rapidly changing times, we need to be more nimble and nuanced. This year, I will be forming a series of time-limited work groups that will meet for a defined period to evaluate, dissect specific disruptions that can potentially derail the association. Their report will be given to the Board of Trustees, who will then formulate a plan to react if necessary. Your leadership will be acting more strategically than reactively. The ever-changing landscape requires us to anticipate future disruptions rather than hold to a strategic plan that may be out of step with the future or our best interests. When necessary, the strategic plan will be not modified throughout its implementation. This association is too important, our mission too vital, and our future too bright to let any disruption, intentional or otherwise, derail our path forward. My My next presidential initiative will focus on our first-generation osteopathic students and physicians. They are the first in their families to pursue medicine. They carry with them the hopes of generations. They are not just learning osteopathic medicine, they are defining what osteopathic medicine can look like. They are being a first-generation American and the first DO in my family. This is a very personal space for me. Our first-generation members bring something powerful to our association. Resilience forged through challenge, perspective grounded in lived experience, and a determination that is as humbling as it is inspiring. They remind us of what it means to build from something from scratch, to work harder just to get to the starting line, to succeed, not for themselves, but for everyone who never had a chance. We honor their resilience, and we are committed to ensuring they are supported, mentored, and empowered to lead. For first-generation members, it can be the difference between surviving and thriving. At the AOA, we talk about unity, service, and the distinctiveness of our care. Those values are not theoretical. They are lived every day, especially for our first-generation students, residents, and physicians. It is not enough to welcome first-generation members. We must walk beside them. We must show them that not only how to succeed in osteopathic medicine, but that they belong here without apology or exception. Every one of us who had someone to show us the way now has that responsibility to be that person for somebody else. Mentorship has evolved in the years. We must develop opportunities for situational mentorship alongside longitudinal ones to create encounters that will be more rewarding and fulfilling for both our mentors and our mentees. Through the help of the AOA, we will develop tools, build communities, and create systems that ensure no student, resident, or first-generation DO will ever walk this path alone. Also, we will focus on providing state and specialty organizations curated ideas through our Voices work group. Their purpose is to provide ideas that our affiliates can use should they choose to enhance membership participation from residents and new physicians in practice into their respective organizations. Growing up, I learned from my grandparents the stories of my family and the struggles various relatives endured to make things better. This vibrant history was one to be celebrated and remembered, but stories fade. Likewise, our association has a rich and vibrant tapestry. But over time, colors have blurred, and history is repeated inaccurately. As osteopathic medicine grows, it is our responsibility to make sure the history we promote is remembered accurately. I also do not want to lose the history we are weaving each and every day. Every member has a story of how they were led to osteopathic medicine. It's time to capture those stories in a digital format, catalog them, and make sure they're available for playback so future generations can see and hear our journeys directly from those who lived it. Now, as a psychiatrist, let me be clear. Mental health is not a side conversation. It is central to our success as a profession. In my career, I have evaluated over 10,000 suicide attempts. This is not a badge of honor, but a sad commentary on the state of our society. Every one of those persons reported that at the moment of their attempts, they felt alone in their world. In osteopathic medicine, we pride ourselves on treating the whole person, body, mind, and spirit. It is a philosophy we teach, a standard we uphold, and a promise we make to every patient we serve. While we care for our patients with compassion and attentiveness, many of our members are quietly struggling with burnout, anxiety, depression, and despair. Often, they suffer in silence. Our members entered this profession to heal others, but they cannot pour from an empty cup. If we do not care for our own, if we do not protect the well-being of our students, residents, and practicing physicians, we risk losing the very soul of this profession. The truth is, 1 in 3 medical students experience depression. Residents are at substantial risk for emotional exhaustion and suicidal ideation. Practicing physicians, especially those in underserved areas, carry emotional burdens few can see and even fewer acknowledge. A stronger profession begins with a healthier physician. The AOA must create a culture where seeking help is seen as a strength, not a stigma. That means vocal leadership from the top, honest stories from within, and an open acknowledgement that mental health is a core part of whole person care, even for physicians. I will be asking members of my own specialty college to help revamp the mental health portion of our website and ensure that information is more practical and user-friendly and timely. Our mental health section needs to be available instead of being buried and accessible to all specialty, state, affiliates, and all of our comms. We need to promote it frequently and robustly. This is an area where collaboration is not a convenience, but a necessity. At the state and national level, we must advocate for reforms that allow physicians to seek care without fear of licensure repercussions. No one should choose to have between their career or their health. As the American Osteopathic Association, we are called not only to represent, but to restore, not only to advocate, but to act. Let us be the voice that says you are not alone. In closing, I should return to what I said in the beginning. I did not come here simply to hold a title. I came here to hold space for growth, for healing, and for reconnection. My measure of success is very simple, and will include asking at the end of my year if our rank and file members feel their relationship with the AOA is better than when I began as president. So let this be the year we pay attention to what is right in front of us, communicate with purpose and clarity, mend the gaps that weaken our unity, recognize and lift up our first-generation colleagues, and prioritize mental health, not just for our patients, but for ourselves. If we want to grow stronger as a profession, we must build stronger pathways to membership, board certification, and advocacy. We must make it clear that membership in the AOA is not just a line on a resume. It is a direct investment in your career, your community, and your ability to shape the future of osteopathic medicine. Osteopathic board certification is more than a credential. It is a declaration of excellence, of lifelong learning, and a pride in our distinctiveness. This year we will strengthen the pathways to certification, improve the experience, and amplify the value it brings. Lastly, but no less importantly, we will elevate our advocacy at the federal, state, and local levels. No one understands the need of DOs like we do. No one can protect our profession and our patients and our principles like we can, especially when we stand together. Let this be the year we lead like DOs, with our hands, our heads, and our hearts. This is our moment, not to reinvent our values, but to live them more fully. Together, let us move forward, more connected, compassionate, courageous than ever before. But as I've been delivering my speech, I recognized I forgot one last thank you.
I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for always being a giver and trying to give more than I receive. I want to thank me for trying to do more right than wrong. I want to thank me for just being me at all times.
Thank you for your service, and thank you for allowing me the honor to serve as your 129th president.